Hello and welcome, Endurance Matters athletes. Thanks for tuning in to this video on body weight circuit number 2. So if you're watching this, you've done body weight circuit number 1 with no problems. That means you can do 3 sets of 15 and you're feeling pretty strong afterwards, along with some SAM immediately following that. So if you're going to start body weight circuit number 2, I highly suggest you start with 2 sets of 8 to 10 and then work your way back up to those 3 sets of 15. And then again, you still have your choice of SAM after this routine. So let's hop right into it. Some of the exercises are the same. Others are going to be a little bit different or a little more challenging. Think of push-ups just like a plank. Place your hands just outside of shoulder width. Contract your abs so that your belly button is headed towards your spine. Maintain that plank as you lower yourself to the ground with your arms. Keep your elbows close to your body instead of out wide. Your arms should look like they do when you're running, swinging at your side. You can modify this movement and make it easier by dropping to your knees or removing some weight to remove some weight for your upper body. But overall, I think a lot of people know what push-ups are. My main critique is that you keep those elbows close because we're trying to reenact a movement of running. This next exercise should be familiar. It's the gorilla lunge, the same exercise from your warm-up. But we are adding more reps, and it's post-run, so they should feel like a strength work instead of a warm-up now. Some things to remember: breathe in through your nose, into your back, and as you take that big step. Exhale and contract those abs as you drive through your heel, using the glutes and hamstrings to drive you into the next step. Try to keep your lower leg perpendicular to the ground and your thigh parallel. This will prevent you from performing bad habits such as making this a quad dominant exercise by letting that knee drift forward in front of your toe. Also from your warm-up routine are good mornings. Remember to keep a slight bend in the knee, maintain that relaxed back, lean forward until you feel a stretch in your hamstring, pause for just a moment, then dip and pull yourself up using your glutes and hamstrings. It's important that your hips remain square to the ground while you're doing this movement. We don't want to see those hips kind of turn up at all. So it helps to kind of reach opposite arm to opposite leg to help make sure that our hips stay square during this movement. But overall, make sure you feel that weight in your heel a little bit. Don't drift onto your toe weight-wise. Feel that stretch in your hamstring, dip, and pull yourself back up using those glutes and hamstrings. Next up, we get a little more explosive with a really fun exercise, burpees. So burpees are a combination of a push-up and a jump squat. So you're gonna lower yourself to the ground, and if you can, jump and kick out those feet. If not, you can take one step at a time. Do one push-up with those good push-up cues from earlier, and then you're gonna jump your feet back up, or one step at a time if that's more comfortable, and you're gonna jump up off the ground. Height is not an issue, right? Just get off the ground. That's all that matters. You want to be explosive here. We're trying to do a little bit of functional movements for runners. This is not something you do while you're running, but it's going to be strengthening a lot of those prime movers that help us run. And so doing this after a run is just going to make you a little bit stronger on tired muscles, which means you may have a better kick at the end of the day. Next up, we have a slightly new exercise. You might have seen this before, but glute bridges that you can do with 2 legs. We're gonna bring it down to a single leg. So first, find that good core position. So we have that tail tuck and our pelvis is in a good position and back flat on the ground. Lift yourself up and then extend one leg. From that position, that's when you start your glute bridges. So drop your hips down, maintain that tight core the whole time. Really feel the weight in your heel, like push into the ground with your heel. That's how you're going to engage your hamstring and glute a little bit more. I rotate here to give you a different view. So again, find that good core position, back flat on the ground, and then we're going to lift our hips up first, then extend our leg, and then start doing those reps. So again, you're going to feel a lot of this in your hamstring. Definitely want to feel that heel pushing into the ground and maintaining that good core position. You'll notice from this view, you can see my hips are square to the ground, right? They're not tilting at all because I'm one-sided. If you feel like you're tilting at all, stick to double leg glute bridges until you feel strong enough. The last exercise in this set is the gorilla shuffle or gorilla walks. You can add a resistance band around your ankles for this. You do not need it, but I figure since it's bodyweight circuit number 2, we're trying to advance ourselves and make things a little more challenging. So find that good squat position, relaxed back, and then remember there's a breathing component to this. So every 2 steps is a breathe cycle. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and then you continue that all the way through. You want to do 8 to 15 reps each direction. The band is just making this a little bit harder for those abductors, so making those glutes work just a little bit harder to reach out to the side, and that is the gorilla shuffle / gorilla walks. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, restart bodyweight circuit number 2 like you did with number 1. Do about 8 to 10 reps for 2 sets and work your way over time back up to 3 sets of 15. Once you're comfortable doing that and these more explosive exercises, you're ready to start bodyweight circuit number 3. Also, don't forget, you're going to do a SAM routine immediately after doing all this. So this isn't all the post work. It's just 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how many reps you do, plus your 10 minutes or less of SAM. So hope this was helpful, and thanks for tuning in. Endurance Matters. We'll see you next time.